and welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for always coming back. If you're new here, you're most definitely welcome. My name is Anita, and we do all things personal finance, self-development, and self-good tips. So if this is the kind of content that you would love to see, kindly watch till the very end. Do not skip any part and click on the subscribe button down below to get subscribed to join my amazing family. They will be talking as the year goes to a close and we are entering into a new year. We need to remind ourselves of certain personal finance strategies that we cannot ignore as we enter into a new year. So, what's to the very end, and let's dive right into today's video. The first point, strategy not to forget as we start a new year at fresh, is delayed gratification. We have to know that the more we invest money and the longer our money stay invested, the more the financial outcome or success of that investment would be at retirement. It's important that we understand that as we have time on our side, time is our best asset. So the earlier you start investing, the better for you. The earlier you start, an investment does not have to be a huge amount of money. A lot of people have the misconception that you need a lot of money to start investing, but especially with buying shares, the smallest amount that you have in your hands, you can buy a share of a company that you regularly use their product. No matter how small you have, start putting in the money now so that it can yield dividends. It can the price can appreciate over a period of time so that you can get money. So if you want to buy something, you feel like having something, I all means, but on this channel we are all about wealth creation. And so if you want to have that particular item, make sure you delay that gratification of feeling and rather put it into an investment. We're not saying don't treat yourself or don't have fun, but there should be a limit. You should be more interested in doing investments than treating yourself more. So that's when the dividends come at the end of maturity of that investment. You can use that profit to acquire those luxuries of life, and that's how the rich live their luxurious life. They live off the profits and the dividends that comes from their investment and not the investment itself. Number two, guys, is to track your expenses, your savings, and your net worth. Have these three big numbers. You should have a fair idea as to how much goes into these categories, three categories of expenses, of your savings and investments, and finally your net worth. Have a fair idea of how much you spend on food, on electricity, water, transportation, rent. Have a fair idea so you have the total amount of money. If you track, you regularly track and follow these categories of expenses, you know how much you spend, let's say on a monthly basis, and so you have a fair idea in total how much you should spend, you want to spend, or you should live off every month. Then it comes to the savings and investments. Have a fair idea of how much you are putting in. You're automatically transferring into that savings and its investments account. Have a fair idea of the total amount that is your assets. Okay, have a fair idea of the numbers. And then your net worth. Your net worth basically is your assets, what you have minus what you owe. What you own, that is yours, minus what you actually owe in terms of debt and loans and all that. So deducting that from what you have should give you a fair idea of how much you are worth. And so some people are running to the negatives because their liabilities are more than what their assets. So we should also have a fair idea of these three big, tracking these three big numbers. It's very crucial. Keep investing very simple. You should have a fair idea of how much you want to put into investments, let's say on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, and then be consistent with it. As you start, be consistent with it. If it is an amount of money, particular amount of money, make sure you follow through. And how you can keep investment simple, it's also automate those investments, automatically transfer them. You set them, you set up an automatic transfer as in the period that you want that transfer to be done, and then it is done for you without your involvement. That way, we are ensuring that investments are being done and it's very, very seamless and easy process. For guys, we have to also be conscious about the big purchases like the cars and the, cars and certain fancy luxurious things that depreciate over time. For instance, a car, if you should buy a car and you're just driving it, as long as soon as it hits the road, the value of that car starts depreciating. And so even if you want to purchase something, make sure it's something that appreciates over time. Let's say an apartment or something of that sort. That appreciates over time. Land appreciates over time. You can sell it off for a higher price than you actually bought it. So know what to put your money, what big purchases to invest or put your money into, so not so that you do not lose your money when those items or those things depreciate over time. Five guys, in the next year, we want to start investing as soon as possible. If you're watching, we've never invested, we want to take that risk now and have that mindset that investment is for the long term. And wealth creation, wealth building, it's also something that takes years and years of consistently, and investing our money to actually yield profit or dividends or interest if you're saving. Make sure that you have that mindset that when you put your money into an investment, you really forget about it and allow time to work and compound your money. Or you do not go into your investment because we are doing it for a long term. So that's why it's important that we have an emergency fund in place so that we do not dip our hands into the investments that we want to do. Guys, wealth creation starts with savings, and that is when you receive that paycheck or salary, you put some aside, and that's what we term as paying yourself first. Pay yourself first, and that is the monies you put aside that you will use for investments aggressively as soon as possible. If you've never started saving, this is the opportune time to do that. Put some monies aside for savings and investments, no matter how small. The earlier you start saving, the better it will be for you. And you do not say that you are waiting for a higher paycheck before you start saving. Start saving now because of compounding interest. Start investing now because of compounding interest. Time is on your side when you start early, no matter how small. It's better than waiting for a higher paycheck or higher returns before we start saving. Save and invest aggressively in the new year. No, number seven is that investments are consistently putting, automatically transferring money is not very exciting. A lot of people live on excitement of things to actually do, but we want you to know that investment, savings, personal finance stuff is something that is very boring. And so you should not just have that in mind and do not be bored so that you do not give up. It's a boring process because doing the same thing routine over and over, you have to keep at it, keep on keeping on for you to actually see results. And some people are success driven and motivated, and so as soon as they do these investments and they are not seeing any headway, they are not seeing any progress, they tend to quickly give up. But do not give up. Keep on, keep going. You will definitely see results, but it will take a long period of time. That should be your mindset. Keep on consistently doing the same thing for a long time because you are almost at the end of the tunnel. Also, in this new year, number eight is not to measure you or compare your financial progress with others. It's a no no in this coming new year. Do not feel pressured. Do not feel the urge to start comparing your wealth or your financial process or progress with someone else. Everybody and their success stories, everybody and their timing that they will actually make it. And so you should only person you should be in competition is with yourself, your yesterday self versus your today self versus your tomorrow self. You should strive each and every day. Financial literacy, our contents are all financial literacy, to gain knowledge, the expertise and skills so that we become better, upgrade ourselves each and every day. We take each day at a time, we become better and better each day. That should be the mentality. Okay, that should be the aim, to be better than you were yesterday and to be better than you are tomorrow. That should be the aim. Do not feel pressured by anyone else. You are in this alone and you should be very focused and determined on your process, on your journey, and your progress and success story. Guys, number nine is that investments come with risks. In life is actually full of risks, and there sometimes the higher the risk, the better the returns. If it should be, you are successful, and so it's important that personal finance stuff, money and all that, all investments most especially comes with taking risks. If you do not take the risk, you are going to be at a standstill and remain where you are for the rest of your life. That's why you need to start small with an amount that you can afford to lose. Not to say that you will lose the money, but if you should lose the money, it won't really disrupt your finances. And so it's important that take that with a leap of faith, take that move and that step and stop procrastinating savings and investments coming this new year. Start now so that you can start yielding dividends and profits in the coming year. Guys, if you love this video, kindly give me a massive thumbs up. Click on the subscribe button down below to get subscribed. Let me hear from you in the comment section down below and share with your family and friends. Do also check out my previous videos, guys, and watch out for the next one. The Lord bless and keep us all. Have a very beautiful and a very great day. See you in the next one. It's bye for now.